Hi, viewers. My name is Mandeep, and once again, I'm back with another video of another challenge that we are talking about. And the challenge is basically migration from GoDaddy to Office 365. In a lot of scenarios, um, what we do is, let's say, a new business. In case of a new business, what people do is they try to register a new domain, and then most of the people, they are aware of the GoDaddy website itself, right? So this is where they register the domain, and while checking out, when they're checking out, everybody wants to see the email services as well. So Microsoft has done a tie-up with GoDaddy. It's a partnership that the GoDaddy. Well, of course, it's a tie-up for, and then GoDaddy offers you the better pricing than anybody else for Microsoft services, right? So when it comes to the tie-up, Microsoft and GoDaddy, both of them, they're getting advantages from each other now. But then, let's say the business grows for one, two, three, four email accounts, it is fine. But the moment it goes above 10, 20 mailboxes, very in the near future, that the businesses will start looking at somebody who will start managing the entire IT farm, and this is where the IT people get uncomfortable managing the entire 365 services within GoDaddy, because the resources are very limited, and then it is not scalable. And within Microsoft 365 portfolio, there are a lot of services that you can take the advantages of, right? So now, this is a problem that we have come across multiple times, and that customer have purchased the Office 365 services while they are purchasing the domain from GoDaddy itself. And this is where, because since they are not aware, they have started using GoDaddy services for their email needs. Now, the second challenge, what are the challenge in this model? Um, you know, the first challenge is, I would say, this is why you are here and watching this video, to be very honest, right? So you all know the challenges that why you're looking for this migration. A second is the GoDaddy supports, right? The support is not good at all. Then I'm talking about very specific to when you're trying to migrate the services from GoDaddy to Office 365, and we have seen the situation multiple times where we talk to GoDaddy and we're trying to chat with them, but then the agents doesn't really know that what we are looking for and what do we need. And if you get to, somehow you are reaching to the guys and they are correctly taking it to the backend team, still it's a challenge because they will take a lot of time to de federate the services from GoDaddy to Office 365, and then they will be giving you a separate tenant, entire different tenant. So we see this as a challenge. And the third challenge that we have seen after this is, there's no very specific article you will find it on GoDaddy resources, and not even Microsoft. I have not seen in both the places. But then, since the technology behind is the federation services, so this is where we'll have to work. Now, I've seen in certain cases, users or customers, they lost the emails as well, because the emails are with 365. GoDaddy owns the domain, and there is a federation which is working between these. So it has to be done in a right way, which is very important, right? So now, what is the solution to this? Now, the solution is, when we are doing this migration, there's only way that the first only way is we have to unlink, in a normal language, unlink the GoDaddy authentications from Office 365. Now, when we have done this for a couple of other customers, we realize that um, you will be facing the problems even after you migrate or you unlink your authentications from GoDaddy. And this is where you need to know that what would be the steps after this, right? So it is very important. Now, we need to understand the infrastructure, okay, that GoDaddy and 365 is, what type of licenses you are using, right? What is the geolocation of your tenant as well with Microsoft, right? So let's say right now we are sitting in UAE, which is, we are sitting in Dubai right now, and then my tenant with GoDaddy is hosted in South Africa, right? Now, if I unlink or defederate the authentications within GoDaddy to Office 365, I still cannot process my licenses with a CSP partner here in Dubai, or I'll have to buy it from the credit cards to manage the same tenant, and then the emails will stay in South Africa, right? We were doing it earlier as well since it was in Office 365, but till then we were not aware. Since now we are aware, and then we are planning to defederate the authentications or unlink the authentications between GoDaddy and 365. So we need to know where the data location is and how to plan the licensing. So it can go in two different ways. One is you keep the tenant as it is, and after that you can add licensing going forward, but then you'll have to be dependent on the separate credit card for the email services, or you find a local CSP partner, but then you'll have to migrate these existing emails to a new tenant, and then you can rely on certain tools like BitTitan or Quest on demand email migration services. We have used both of them, and then I like both of them. BitTitan is my preferred one, because I've tried this recently, and then it was overall, it is good, right? So once again, know the infrastructure, how it is done, plan the changes, that how you will be doing it. So when you know the infrastructure, and then after the segregation, you need to plan first that what you will be doing once the defederation from GoDaddy is performed, right? So plan that. Then it is, the next line is defederate the domain from GoDaddy. That is the next step that is coming up, and then execute the changes. So we need to, if we are planning for a new tenant and then migration services, then you can of course go ahead and then plan your DNS changes as well. Now, how to perform the federation from GoDaddy, using GoDaddy from Office 365. So first step is taking the ownership of the tenant, which means become the tenant admin first, and second is removing the federation with GoDaddy on Office 365. After that, since all the users are using the federated authentication, which means the authentication is of GoDaddy, and then in the backend it is working with Office 365, which is your Azure Active Directory. So um, in this scenario, your user passwords will be changed, right? So we'll have to change the user passwords to get the access to the existing mailbox, and after that we'll be removing the partner relationship of GoDaddy from the tenant, and then after that you can perform the tenant to tenant migration, or you can carry the same tenant assigning the different licenses, is your call. And then meanwhile you can also suspend the GoDaddy email subscriptions, right? So next is we'll have a small demonstration session on this. So let's get back to the page of email. So this is where our email services are right now on GoDaddy. By the way, the page that you're looking at, the migration is already performed in this scenario. So there will be a couple of things that I'll be explaining only. I can't really do it and show right now like my other videos, but then you'll have an idea. I'll try to explain best, so that you don't get into such problems. And then moreover, any questions, any scenarios that you have, you can always put it on the text, and on the chat window and on the comment section, and then we reply definitely very soon, right? Okay. Now, in this scenario, the migration is already performed right now. But then this is how, of course, the people who are using GoDaddy email services with Office 365, this is what they see. And the URL is productivity.godaddy.com. Along with the domain, you will see all your list of your users. Now, after this, what you do is once you're on this page, you open the second tab. Okay, you open the second tab and open portal.azure.com. This is the URL that you need to go for, right? Now, once you go to this URL, you will be logging in with the admin credentials of your Office 365 created within GoDaddy. Okay, you will have access to this. Now, once you will have access to this, after that, you will be going to intra ID. After intra ID, you will be going to custom domain names. Within here, if you see, there is something called federated or primary, correct? This is your tenant name within Azure. By default, it is created by GoDaddy, and this is the naming convention that they follow, right? Any other tenant, probably once you'll see in your farm as well, you will see that it has started from NETORG and something something, of course, right? Now there will be another domain, which is your primary domain, which is your business domain. In this scenario, it will be showing as available, but then this is also showing you as federated as well. Okay, so which is very important, that this will show you a federated authentication, and that will have to disable or remove the federation of your second domain. You will see a different domain, second domain here, which has to we need to disable this from the federation, right? Okay, after this, the first step that you will be doing is you will go to your users, which is under intra ID, and then you will go to users. Okay, along with all the other users, you will also see something called admin, and the name will be similar to this. Okay, so usually you will see two different admins here. One is the one which you're logged in with, the identity, and the second will be this. And after this, what you will do is you can click here, and then you will reset the password for this account. Okay, this is nowhere related to your GoDaddy and 365 link. You can always reset this password, and then after that you will be logging in with this account, okay, which is this email ID. If you see right now, I'm logged in with the same um, email ID itself. Once you do that, after this you have control on your tenant. Now after this, if you see, you can go to admin.microsoft.com as well, and then with the current credentials here, you will be able to log in, and you can see all the your list of users, your domains, your all the other setup as well, right? So right now we'll not have anything because we have removed it already, but then yeah, just wanted to show you that we have access to this. Okay. Now once this is done, so which means now we have access to the tenant, we have access to the domain, we have access to 365, the user portal as well, which was not the case earlier in case of GoDaddy only, right? Now after this, what we need to do is we need to run a PowerShell command. Okay, which PowerShell command is right here. This is the PowerShell command. So this is checking the MS Graph services. If it is not there, we'll have to install the graph services. We are connecting to Azure services, so of course ensure that the when we are running the PowerShell, it is connecting to Azure Connect. And after this, ensure that the credentials of the new account that we have resetted, so you will use this credentials, and here you will change your domain name. This part is your domain name, the domain name that you want to unlink from GoDaddy to 365. So you'll put your domain name here, and then this you will run it on PowerShell after connecting to Azure. Okay, so once this is done, once this command is done, your federation will be disabled after this. So going back to enter ID and then custom domains, you will see that second domain which is listed here, the federation will be disabled. Once the federation is disabled, after that you go here, or go to active users and reset the password for all the active users, because they will not be able to log in, right, to get the access to their existing emails. Now once that is done, your users will have access to their emails. Now in our scenario, then you will see where is the data location, right? Because now you need to perform, as I said, the planning is important. We need to see that where is the data location right now. So what you'll do is, you under settings, admin.microsoft.com, under settings, under org settings, you have something called organization profile. Inside this, there is something called data location. So right now for this particular tenant, the data location that we see is South Africa, European Union for certain services. Exchange Online is South Africa again. So let's say when we are sitting in Dubai, being a CSP partner in UAE region, we can't really assign the licenses to a South Africa region. So now what we do is we'll have to migrate the emails and the existing mailboxes for these users to a new Microsoft tenant in UA. For that, so there are two different things, as I said, right? One is, if I put my credit card details here under billing section, and I can additionally purchase the services, and then I can take it from there. Step one, if that has to be done. Second is, if I want to migrate this to an entire different new tenant, so that I can work more efficiently, and then I can manage the tenant and the data, and few countries, there are certain compliance that the data has to be within the location. So all these things, the regulations, you'll have to see and then plan for it accordingly, right? Once that is done, what we'll do is we'll go to partner relationships, and from here you will see GoDaddy as well, and then you'll have to remove the GoDaddy GoDaddy, yeah, GoDaddy is reseller here. So we can remove the roles and you can remove the GDApp services as well. So after this, they will not have any control on this particular tenant. And that's pretty much it. And then, this is the only step. The important step that we look forward is that PowerShell command that I've shown you here. This is a PowerShell command. You can take a screenshot of this. You can copy that. All the mobile, they have a picture to text can be converted, so you can do that as well, right? So this is what it is, and then this after this command, your federation is disabled, and then you can plan for your next steps anytime. Don't forget to suspend your subscriptions on GoDaddy, because that's very important. Otherwise, you'll be keep on charged for your existing emails, right? Now, you're after this, you're free from your GoDaddy separation, and happy journey. After this, you enjoy your Microsoft tenant, and then do the great work.